What's up, guys? How are you doing today? Another beautiful day in California.
Last MFW show before... No, we have one more.
One more.
We have one more.
Next week. Last one.
Premature. Sorry, guys. Mofo PTR is a shit. KT's new haircut tonight only.
Right. I can do haircut. I'm losing hair with all this project, guys.
How do they know you got a haircut? I barely noticed when you get a haircut. I'm not paying attention to his hair. We have more important stuff to do that.
Right.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the MFW show, episode whatever. We gave up counting.
I think 47.
Yeah, 47
like
or 48. We're getting close to 50. I know. We'll probably say two more. So the new year will be the first MFW show of the new year should be episode 50. So we'll do something big for that.
I would check the the count because I actually.
Oh, you can. Yeah, we
I do.
on here. That's right.
Actually, upload them to the site there. You're able to see which episode it is. Let me go check it. Somebody's asking. Actually, Val's on it.
All right. So, episode, whatever, 48, 49, or no, it'll be 48. Send two more before the new year. And then episode 50, that first Wednesday, episode 50 should be the first Wednesday after the new year, which will be cool. And we'll do something big for that. Thank you guys for joining us. You guys saw in the title, Shape Projectile Talk. And I wanted to say a lot more stuff, but there's character restrictions in the when you log into the live stream. Well, we got the shells in today from it's a production sample from the mold. We shot it. It shoots. There's some minor things that need to be adjusted, but we wanted to take the time today to show you guys exactly what it looks like and what to expect. And we'll go from there. KT, you want to take over on that one?
You can take over on this one.
I've
been playing all day already.
All right. So, right here in my hand, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but we have the round. Okay? This is comprised of a 4-part system. As you can see, our dome shape is a little bit bigger than what's already out there in regards to shape projectiles. So there will be the availability for more of a fill. So we'll have more marking capability depending on the projectiles that you get. You'll have the fin based here. There's no fins. Our system is based off of. Any of you guys have looked at the patent, you guys would know or know this already, but we don't actually need the rounds to catch the rifling of the barrel. We've tested that with shape projectiles. I've done that personally. I've shaved off all the fins on a shape projectile, and I was still able to get the same consistency and the same to similar trajectory as long as the compression was still there. So we have a drive band, which is on our projectile. So as you can see here, there's this black band here. This is a foam band that actually is what catches the rifling. So these rounds are going to be much more consistent round to round. They should be exactly the same, which in turn is going to give you the most consistent shot possible, depending obviously on the marker that you're shooting it out of, and then of course your output of your tank, and the trifecta that we use here a lot. But these will be able to be used out of any magazine. You don't have to worry about flares, flashing, the nipple. They will be the most consistent shape possible round to round. So this is a powder filled version. We just use that to just test.
Easier to load.
And we put them together, and
we just use super glue.
Yeah.
So I did a batch early today, just super glue them together. The nice thing about the drive band, I noticed that the compression is a lot better, so it seals up the chamber of the barrel. Rather, there's really almost no gap between the rounds and the chamber. So
what is going on here? Everyone, he gets the same haircut. Is this a different haircut?
Same haircut.
Dude, he's been cutting his hair like this since freaking since Nam, dude. Hey. This is the real. This is the real deal haircut.
Got a dome cut with no brows.
That's not a bowl cut. No, that's not a bowl cut. We don't actually accept that here at MCS.
So here, so back to the rounds. We shot earlier today. It needs some adjustments. Not ready yet. So I think next month we're able to kind of shoot a lot more of this. We are the back right here a little bit big. It's not really the same size as the front, so it's the two separate parts, and I will have to make some adjustment to make sure that the back tail is compatible. I'm not compatible, same size as the front. So when you put it together, it's concentric right now. It's not really like a perfect geometry. The top is actually smaller in the front, so when you put it into the barrel, it's actually has a lot of friction. But what we did was kind of shave it off with a knife and able to shoot it. It shoot okay, not great yet. So I think after we make the adjustment, we have to kind of do some great shooting with it. Guys, have any question on this? Let me know. And then let me kind of see if I can zoom this in for you. The most it can do is probably that much then, huh? Yeah, let me see, you can put my, you want to hold this a little bit so you can zoom that camera in for you? That's the most I can do on this camera, so.
I need 455, bro.
455?
Yeah. So you recover it, I gotta give it.
I thought you meant like.
So you have any question, let me know on these rounds as the show goes on, and we'll able to kind of answer the question you have. So next month, somewhere in January, we're going to shoot more of it. Like I said, right now I have to kind of, the back of it is a little bit too big, so I have to kind of shave it manually to kind of get it to work properly. But we're getting closer, guys. I mean, now we actually have production sample shells to test now, pre-production, so we can test them throughout, and as we go throughout the process, we have to get more of it out, get more results.
Let's see here. Wow, questions very
okay. Lots of questions. Okay.
Do they have force multipliers? No, they don't. 0 force multipliers, so we're good there. Pre-orders still a little early. Like I said, but when we're adjusting this right now, she just talked to them, so we needed to find out the right diameter of what we need it to be. Right now it's just a little oversized, so once we get that fixed.
Yeah, the tail of it a little bit big, the front, the dome, we are making the size 0.682, that's the shell, and then the dry band is 0.690, so when you use it on a special, we designed this rounds for the hammerhead barrel, so as this chamber into the rifling of the hammerhead barrel, it will perfectly kind of seal up the chamber. You're going to get more compression, kind of like shooting like a Nerf round, less air per shot. So that's what we're expecting to have.
So Felix Gonzalez, the rifling on a hammerhead barrel is actually clockwise as it exits. The drag in the projectile, we didn't get a chance to do an FPS rating yet, but we'll probably do that here in the next day or two. But you're still going to be able to. Actually,
just to touch base on that, when we were testing these back then, we were shooting this round against first strike velocity about the same, so I don't foresee that there's more drag from it. But that's what we have. Who knows at the how the final production will be like? But that's what we have.
Let's see here. Will it come in different shell colors?
We're gonna make one color for the beginning, and later on as we produce them, we're able to make different shell color. But the dry band will have different color that it will indicate for you what kind of projectile it is or what color of the fill. We use the dry band, a lot easier to produce. You can interchange them pretty quickly, a lot more robust.
Let me see it. Let me just show them real quick.
Oh, get closer to it?
Yeah. So as you guys can see right here, this is it. Let's see what it looks like by zooming in. Can you see it?
Yeah.
On there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can talk to them about it.
So like I said, this is a 4-part system. This has the dome. There's a core on the inside here, and then this is essentially the fin, quote unquote, and then the drive band is what circumference this it actually becomes flush in this gap. So this is the powder fill part, just because, like I said, for testing purposes, it's easier to fill it that way. And then we'll have the paint fill and then other fills that we will be doing as well. So this is also a wax shell. So that's also a selling point for this. It'll be 100% biodegradable outside of the foam band, but that will have its own time frame as far as degradement. But like I said, they shot perfectly fine. They fed through the magazine. They fit very well. All we have to do is just make that one adjustment to this part. This is what he's talking about, the diameter of the fin, quote unquote. We have to come up with a better name.
We'll call
on
it
that.
tail.
Tail.
Yeah.
The tail of it.
The dome, the tail, the core.
Yeah.
And the dry band.
And that'll be it. And then we'll be good to go. Let's see here. Packaging, which is another question that we're getting here. You want to talk about that, KP?
We're gonna show you guys how cool the packaging gonna be later on when we show it you. Cost per round, we're still looking at about 10 to 15 cents per round, depends on quantity that you guys purchase. I think the first release is gonna be based on where you're purchasing them, who you're purchasing from, but I think it's gonna be average cost per unit gonna be about 15 cents per shot. Is the taper going to work with the taper bolt? Yes, it will be work. The taper in the back is actually not that much of a taper. We kind of round all the edges a little bit. You know how the first strike, the tail with kind of really sharp edges. It has a really has a tendency to snag or catch any kind of crevice that it can find. But these we kind of make it more curvature. Geometry is more round, so that way it doesn't have the flow will be a lot easier for the round to feed, and for round. I mean, the flow of it will be much better in magazines or in the chamber.
So keep in mind too, the drive band is exactly that. I mean, the name kind of says it all. The drive band is what's actually catching the rifling. The round itself doesn't actually impact that rifling as much as you know what an FSR does essentially. So that foam band does have a lot of give, and once, like I said, once we adjust that diameter of that tail, we'll be able to, that round should slide right in there and catch that rifling very, very well.
You see the tank round in the lobby?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we get the idea from.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not bringing that out here.
We should bring that in for the show. You can people where we get that from. I mean, why we come up with the idea of the drive band because of that.
Okay, so quality or quantity per box, we've talked about making every quantity from 100 to 1,000. Projected price would be basically there would be price breaks for the more quantity that you purchase, but it's where we wanted to be all along. It's a reason why KT did it the way that he did. So, do you want to tell them that, or?
We're gonna have they're in the box of 100, guys, so that way you can buy multiple box of 100. Reason why we chose the 100 is easy for you to box. When we ship them out, easy for you to ship. You buy 1,000, 10 boxes of 100. When you go to the Play 2, you don't have to. When you go to say you buy 1,000 rounds, right? Come in a box of 10 pack, and you go to an event, just grab a few boxes and you go play. I mean, you don't have to take the whole box or transfer that to a smaller box. It'll be a lot easier for you guys to carry and to load. That's what the plan is, to become a box of 100. That's it, and then you can buy multiple boxes at a discount. So we call it quantity break when you buy it. Again, you buy it quantity per box. So you buy 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4 boxes. You just select, and then the discount will be based on how many boxes you have selected.
Jason Barker, weight should be the same. When we're testing that right now for the different fills, because we are going to be making these for different purposes. So we have our law enforcement less lethal division, and then we also are making it for the recreation.
Right.
So we will fit and make sure that it's within ASTM standards. So we'll be good there.
ASTM is 3.5 grams, so if as long as we stay within below 3.5 grams, we're good. So we won't pay attention to that when we produce them. Of course, obviously, I mean, we gotta stay within the scope of the limit.
Any thoughts on why not a pointier dome? Well, I don't really, a pointier dome.
A pointier dome. That change don't change a lot of geometry on the projectile itself. You're talking about the chamber of the marker chamber. You're talking about the geometry of the magazine. I mean, that's a lot of changes you have to make. I mean, literally, if you change the dome shape, you have to change the complete whole design of the new gun, new magazine.
Let's see here.
And also follow suit. Another thing that you want to do is continue to make product that currently being used out there. If we start making different projectile, then only new markers can shoot those projectiles. So we want to make product that compatible to what's already existed rather than try to make something new.
Exactly.
Mm.
So this is a universal projectile.
Right.
Like I said, making sure that the round is consistent from each projectile to each projectile is going to make you a more successful player in the field. All these modifications and stuff that sometimes you have to do to competitors' markers, including our own, to accommodate for the inconsistencies of the projectile that's on the market, is really what we wanted to focus on here. So you guys would be able to use any magazine, load them up, and have no issues, because you know that the round is going to be the same for each shot. So that was a very important part of this design, and that's the reason one of the staples that we had to make sure that we pinpoint so you guys don't have issues out in the field. Jamie Rivera, what is the pain level for this round compared to first strike rounds? I've been shot by our wax powder round that we used to carry, as well as the one that we got recently, the same material, and it hurts the exact same. In my opinion, this round will actually break in all pieces. Where the FSR is going to break on the dome will break on you, and the shell or the fin will usually just hit the ground. So your body will take all of the impact of this projectile, and it will crumble into small pieces. But I mean, a paintball hurts as much as a paintball hurts, honestly. FSR, I can't really tell the difference between a paintball and an FSR anyway. So this is right up that alley. Shooting video, Rondell Khan. We will do some mini shooting videos with this, with our barrels and things like that in the future. Right now, we're just trying to get them out, so you guys can. We're going to be, when we get them in for the final, once the adjustments made, we're going to be sending them out to some different players around the U.S. and probably the world, and then we will get some feedback, and then we'll be ready to go.
Oh yeah. Matthew was asking about velocity doesn't correlate to the drag. We still have a lot more tests to go, Matthew. One of simple tests we did is just kind of say a gun is shooting at 300 feet per second with first strike. We put a round in. Does it go up in velocity or the same, or goes down? Right now we got it almost about the same. Like I said, there's more tests to be made. Our round's not really perfect yet. It's still in pre-production, which means that there's still deviation in the rounds that we're producing. Like I said earlier, the tail's still a little bigger than the dome, so it creates a lot more friction in the rear than the front. Of course, when exit the barrel, it will have some drag in the traveling, exiting the barrel. So that's one of the things that we're doing. We're adjusting the tail of it to make it wear the same diameter, outside diameter as the dome. So when we put together, it's one concentric piece, and there's no deviation in the back that when we shoot is actually be straight. But like I said, we'll have more tests and more results for you guys. We'll do a thorough test for you. We'll test and we'll do videos. We'll compare for you so you can see what the differences are. I mean, right now, the nice thing about what we're coming out with the rounds is that we already have an existing metric to work with, to compare with, and to show you guys. As opposed to first strike, there's really no comparison. They can't really compare anything. They just shoot you know what? This production compared to other production. There's
They
no
set the
comparison.
standard.
They set the standard. We
it's
kind of
easy
have
to go after now.
All right.
So
We don't have to, beat them. We don't have to beat them. I think with the cost of what we're trying to achieve, we can, if perform even 80% of what First Strike can do. I think that's more than sufficient to have a good game. But most people don't shoot that far anyway. 50 yards. I mean, that's a miracle. Straight. I'm not talking about 50 yards where 50 yards straight and consistent. If you can hit a pole size target, 4 inches pole size target every shot at 50 yards, I'm in. As opposed to paintball, one shot you go ding, next shot you deviate to the left, next shot to the right, and you go back, and you have to constantly making adjustment to your shot to hit that pole. Our goal is to make like a 50-yard shots consistently every shot, and if we can accomplish that, I think we made it. We are gonna able to bring MagFed sport to the next level.
Matthew Driftwood Roney, we've already, trust me guys, having multiple boxes, we're going to show you the packaging and how effective it's going to be, how much, basically the potential and the safe travel type of aspect of it that you're going to be able to ensure when you purchase online. Our plan outside of that is to have...
Let me touch on that to shipping too, guys. Think about shipping aspect of it. You can ship by United Postal anywhere in the States under a pound for about $5, right? So that's what can offer you flat rate shipping. So if we go above a pound, you have to ship using priority mail. It costs more and so on. So our way of planning for the future is not just about how many the quantity of it. We think about packaging, we think about weight, we think about logistics, think about how it will survive in the transportation of the projectile, not just immediate. I mean, like I said, right now we already have a platform that's already working. So people buy 100, people buy the 250. I mean, shipping costs will not go less. It's actually as the time progresses, shipping costs can go higher. Oil cost per barrel not go down. We're going to go up slowly right now, about $50 per barrel. At one point, a few years ago, $150 a barrel. So you're talking about 3 times the cost for logistic, and that's not going to go away. So we have to think ahead on how to keep the footprint down on the weight, so that way we can maximize the use of the shipping of logistic and lower down the cost as much as possible when we do ship it out.
Okay, so we got a lot of questions coming in.
Bring them in.
Temperature sensitive. I don't see an issue as this formula is going to. I mean, I don't know. We haven't really tested that.
If you talk about extreme condition like say sub-zero and plus 150, then you are that adverse environment. But you're talking about normal condition where
humidity, rain.
That's not going to do anything.
It's not going to do anything to these projectiles.
Right. Yeah, Matthew, I don't. It's not going to be a game changer. I totally agree. It's really we're still testing. Like the base. If we said, if it's great already and it's proven to be fantastic, honestly, it's already in your hand right now to start shooting. And we put everybody will jump in and start making it, and we'll put our entire line, entire company resources into it. But that's why we're still kind of able to do it slowly and find out what is and what is not, and able to put this into the market as we see the potential that it can bring, and able to put in enough resources in that not hurt the future of what we're doing. We have to stay, we have to survive as an organization. We can't just kind of put all our eggs in one basket and expect to be great. Nothing is a sure thing. I don't think ever. I don't think everything's a sure thing unless it's actually out there in your hand and you using it, you're loving it. Then yes, but it's not a sure thing. No, still a lot of adjustment, a lot of work needs to be made to bring this projectile to the market. This is the third iteration of this already. The first one we did here in-house. We mold them and we test them. It was working okay. We actually 3D print the first projectile. We shot it for several years ago. That's when we did the pattern, and then that's the first iteration. And the second one we did a couple molds, and it didn't come out right. And that's when we were gonna plan to do. We hired, we work at a manufacturer to outsource entire production, which, like I said, the MOQ is minimum production is 3 million rounds a month. I don't think we're ready to commit to that quantity, and I don't think the market is
market's
ready.
not there.
That will make or break us.
Even at the price,
Yeah.
I mean, you're
That's too much of
people
risk.
aren't
Yeah,
playing paintball
yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate
Right.
part. We're with around where it's at right now,
Yeah.
at the price that we're going to be offering it. It's going to give you guys the ability to shoot more shape projectiles more often, which is in turn going to allow you to
Right.
play more, and then in turn allow us to make more. So right now, I think with
Yeah.
the demand is
Right.
there, with the amount that we're able to accommodate. So
That's why we never went forward with that project. It's too much of a risk for us to moving using that production plan. That's why we kind of went back and thought about what's the best way to bring this and still bring the cost we make out of wax, biodegradable wax. It's good for environment at the same time. Able to bring that cost down to still meet that projection. Like I said, we could have made this easy and be like a 50 cents or 20 cents or what amount of that would cost to make, but it's not realistic. Why make something that already exists and potentially much better than whatever that we come out with? Why compete with something so out there, right? So we have to be able to think outside the box, make something that's good, and at the same time the cost be cost effective. So I mean that in itself, I mean I don't know about you guys, but it took a while to actually come up with this solution. So I'm glad we did, and right now we're still looking at the projected price right now about 15 cents at the first launch, and then from there into the future it will bring up the scale and bring down, I mean, increase the volume, then we can bring down to lower, more lower.
it's all going to come down to you guys, honestly. Like we have our plan, projected plan is we already have a lot of fields lined up that we've been able to travel around, and they're very interested in carrying these directly, and then working with you guys and field promoters and event promoters to use this round to distribute to its players is also going to help bring them the cost even more. So with the packaging and then the price at what KT had just listed, it's going to, like I said, the whole goal is to allow you guys to shoot more of these shape projectile rounds, which is going to bring hopefully more people into the sport, because there's an effective projectile at an effective price that's going to bring more people into the MagFed community. And that's really that's what it's about. It's what we need to have happen for us to progress and for us to continue innovation. We have to allow that to come into effect. Matthew Driftwood Roney, if you want to message me, man, I think we're on Facebook.
I mean, you're asking a really good question. It's not something we're not thought about. The question you asked me, we thought about and we're implementing. Some I can't really disclose because I don't really want to.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I may change my answer. I may change later on, and all of a sudden, will you set this? And that's why I'm saying that right now we're looking at 100 rounds packaging, so we're looking at weight wise. That's a focus, weight, so that way it will be easy for us to ship. And a lot of players, if you are a seasoned player and you're able to get quite a few of them, and we do have a bigger quantity box too. So the basic one is 100. If you go to field, the bigger quantity you have to buy at field, so you buy at a store. But the smaller 100, we have to think about logistic wise too. So I think next month or so we're able to kind of disclose more to you. So when we finalize our plan, because right now we're still thinking how we ship them logistically, how the dealer, how store going to carry them, how field's going to carry them, how to make it where it's easy for you guys to purchase. All this have to be planned out. Otherwise, it's we're not able to support you, and we're not able to support the store and the field. One of our major goal on this is to make sure that the fields have access to them and make sure they're able to sustain to sell them to you guys, so they actually stay open. Make a margin enough for that they actually sell these rounds to you and continue to stock them in their locations so that you can just buy them. It's just like paintball. We not accomplish that, then we not really do the industry a service. We have to able to think about how these fields gonna. Okay, you know what? Here, you can buy a bag, you can buy a box. Same thing with a store. You go to a store, you can buy these easily, and we'll have to make these kind of plan ahead so that way, not just for you guys, but also for the field and store. They're major the major factor in the industry, and you got to make sure they are in the loop on that.
Guys, temperature of wax, relax on that, okay? It's you're talking about 150 degrees or hotter. Like, there's not a place in the U.S. that's going to get that you're going to be playing paintball in that weather. So humidity, the water, anything like that is not going to affect these projectiles, so you will be fine. Doesn't matter if you're playing Arizona, Florida humidity, Mississippi humidity, or Louisiana. It doesn't matter. They will be fine in those temperature fluctuations there. So don't worry about that. This is what the production is going to look like. So don't think that you're going to have issues.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the temperature. I would think if you're concerned about environment, concerned about the water. I mean, humidity or rain or water. That's it. I don't think you should worry about the heat.
Like honestly, if it's 150 degrees outside, I doubt anyone's playing
No,
paintball
you're
there.
not playing. If you
So don't
expose
worry
them
about
to,
it,
if you
guys.
kind of open a box and just leave it in the sun where you have straight sun, directly, straight sun kind of beam down on it on a hot day. Yes, I would say any type of, material will eventually will give, either by changing geometry, kind of oblong shape or something melt. I don't know, but so far, in normal use should be no problem.
Okay, so extra insurance. I don't know if I don't really think anyone actually read the standard because you have to buy it. But what FSR did is they actually implemented FSR first strike rounds into the paintball standard. They didn't make a new standard for shape projectiles. They already used the paintball one, were inducted into that standard. So technically, there's not extra insurance that needs to be purchased. It falls under the paintball standard. So these would fall under that same standard. Like I said, we've talked about this before. Even with the ASTM standard inducting the shape projectiles, it's still up to the field and the field owner's discretion on whether or not they allow them or not. That's the kind of the deal breaker. They don't have to allow it if they don't want to. It's not has nothing to do with first strike, and it has nothing to do with the insurance companies. That comes down to the discretion of the field owner. So
I would say eventually, I think there enough support behind MagFed and the support behind the shape rounds movement. Field gonna want to allow first strike and will carry the rounds. Like I said earlier, that's what our goal is to create a rounds that inexpensive enough, package it well so that way fields can stock them and able to supply them to you. If they can stock and supply to you, they will allow them for you to use on the field. That's and like I said earlier, we have to plan this ahead of time so to accomplish, not just kind of push it out and then able to accomplish it. And Matthew asking earlier if is a wax going to be production? Yes. Right now we're looking at wax production. We're still testing it. We just got these in and we're testing right now. Still some adjustments to be made. And once we're able to get them working well and working to a point where we're satisfied with the quality and the way that it shoots, then we can launch them right now. Like I said, this is an update for yes, answer a question. Ask any question you have, so that way you can address. We can address them, so you can see what's going on in the future and what we're currently working on.
as far as storing factor, like I was saying, it can get 150 degrees in your car. I don't see an issue even at that temperature if they're in their containers. The way that we're packaging them, which we said, like I said, we'll update you guys on that, and you'll see exactly how they're going to be shipped. You'll kind of see how it will make sense.
And you talk about environment-wise. I would treat these as if you would regular round paintball,
Yeah.
right? So how would you treat them? You treat them with care. You don't toss them around. You keep them in a decently cushion box, and when you are out in the plane, you don't expose them to the sun, you wouldn't expose them to environment, and so I would carry them as the way it is, like just regular paintball, then you'll be fine. Auction, well, thanks for asking. We do have this nice gun here we just put together. This is the first that we put together right now. This is off the Hurricane. You get this new handguard we just put together. This is custom built, and this is up for auction today. You'll be the first to have this. We just got this handguard in. We were testing it. It's pretty cool, and this is going to be. We actually mod the top rail a little bit to install it, but this is what you get. Pretty nice, right? Really light. It's amazingly light.
Billy Van Campos, that's exactly right. Just treat them as if they were a normal round ball,
Yeah.
and you guys will not have any problems. let's see. So we'll start the auction at $100, increments of 10. Hurricane marker with that new handguard.
And you can remove this pretty easily to install or cleaning. You press this little pin, this little tab right here, and it will pop right out.
And that is key mod, so you can put your key mod rails on there and do
Yeah.
any attachments that you want as well.
Nice, right?
So 31 guns in 31 days. You guys can keep asking questions about the shape projectile rounds. It's already 5:30 here. We had a little bit of a late start, so we'll answer any questions that you guys have. So ask away. 31 guns in 31 days is still going on. We got a custom. We had a custom 468 go today. He still hasn't got back to me, so I don't know if we might have to re-announce the winner for tomorrow, because he still has not called me back, or I don't think he's paid. But
Well, you can actually recess this. Pretty cool.
oh, nice! That's freaking sick.
Just gotta get the
Man.
get the right barrel length. And
That's super cool. That looks like a rail gun.
you know, huh?
That's what it looks like. Super futuristic. Okay. So, do you think First Strike will be forced to lower their prices to compete with yours? First Strike is known. We've been doing this, had this project around for a long time. What First Strike does with their projectiles is completely up to them. We're gonna go through it with it without their, whatever they do is what they do. That has nothing to do with us. I would assume so. I mean, from a business standpoint, but hey, that's not my true opinion. So,
You know what? I think that the only way for any product to reduce down the cost is to increase in production, and that's what they're doing right now, is to increase production. That's why they have the new box for you guys.
So 600.
600 rounds for $170, something like that. And I think it's gonna be like that. It's kind of tough to guess what's going on, but definitely you're gonna able to do a lot more with the new projectile that's coming out. A lot more games and a lot more different ways of doing. You can play. We're gonna offer you guys paint field, powder field. We're able to offer you different type of field with water. So when you actually play at a facility like Airsoft, the one thing that Airsoft beat us right now in paintball is they play at this really cool, awesome facility, right? I mean,
talking about military installations,
Exactly,
abandoned
exactly.
mental hospitals. That's one way that we're headed with
Right.
these projectiles. We're going to work with these, Airsoft event promoters that are hosting 1,000+ player games.
Right.
But we can't touch those facilities because paint is not allowed there.
Right.
But having a powder projectile or a water-filled projectile is going to allow you guys and hopefully the sport to grow and use those facilities for MagFed.
right.
So,
Imagine you can play at those facilities like paintball, like Airsoft does. I mean, because those guys, because they don't have the paint.
Or at
Is
270.
they don't have the paint, so it's nice and clean. That allow you kind of just play at different locations. So depends on what we put inside. You put all kind of stuff inside. It's actually pretty cool. This is a pretty cool build. If you're gonna win this one, this is the first one we built. This is the latest handguard. It's not out yet. This is the first sample that we did, and we have to build into the Hurricane. It looks pretty neat.
It looks like a railgun. It looks
Yeah.
like a gun from Halo.
Right.
That's what it looks like.
And then with this buttstock, with this suppressor too, you can actually put recess in there. All you have to do is just get the right barrel length and adjust it properly. Boom, you're able to kind of put together real nice build.
Did we freeze or something?
What's that?
Oh, we still did it
No,
freeze.
we're still going on.
All right. So, moving forward with the projectiles here, we're extremely excited. We're excited for you guys to use them and get them in your hands, and we just want to make sure, being able to test them today, right when they came in, as soon as they came into the office, I took them out of the box and I went in there and I told KT it was, there's a gift from the Lord here. So we were able
Victory.
to victory. Be able to put it together and then start testing it. We shot it out of the DMR, and like I said, it shot great with those modifications that we need to make, the adjustments to the tail there. I think we'll be solid.
Yeah.
And then we'll be ready to go, and we'll announce. We'll show you guys the packaging next, and then we'll go from there. So, let's see here. So 31 guns, 31 days, still going on. We got some custom markers coming up, and then Christmas Day, when I'm with my family, I'm probably gonna have my wife pull the ticket. I've been trying to get her to do it since my son. You guys like my son on there so much. He, what do you call it? Well, we have a PTR DMR going on Christmas Day, so that's gonna be really cool. So if you guys want to get into the raffle for that day, make sure you guys buy your coupons on Sunday before I do it on Monday, and I'll add all those tickets from the weekend into there for the following days. So, Neil, Cyro, Camargo, we're looking at 15 cents a round. So 15, 1-5, guys, 1-5. And as the demand goes up and you guys are buying more and more, that price will go down even more. So.
Yeah, Jeff, it will work on a shotgun too. Like I said, the actual will work great on a shotgun.
Yeah, it'll work really good with
because
shotgun.
of the band will fit into the shell a lot better. That's why we intentionally made the dry band a little bit wider. Like I said, .690. So you can shoot actually with this. You don't have to shoot out from a rifle barrel. You can shoot actually from any barrel, and will shoot great. We shot out of a smooth full barrel and go pop pop pop. It had like a little whoosh sound to it. So we look forward to shooting these. I mean, it's not like we don't want to make them. We're really focused on getting this out.
Once we make that adjustment, we get the adjusted sample back in. We'll be ready to test a little bit more and get them out. Let's see here, Douglas Gloff. Brittleness, they are extremely for what they are, they're strong. We haven't had any issues with the magazine in inserting them as far as the travel. So I honestly think if you were to step on it, that's the only way you're going to break it. You put your entire weight on there. But the way that we're packaging it, like I said, you guys will know. You'll understand a little bit more when you find out how they're going to be packaged, and then ultimately. But as far as beating them up on the field and inserting them in your mags against spring tension, you should be fine. I would not expect that to do anything to those projectiles. Oh, David Justin's in. David Justin, what's going on, man? Reaper in the house. And Ivan Aquino, I'd like to give a shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for watching us. Henry Uribe. Okay, Joe Simmons. How is the marking ability on the projectiles? It will be the same as round ball. So you won't have to worry about that. It'll have that same ability.
The nice thing about this is that, like I said, there's really no sharp edge anywhere. The first strike has the fin, the tail is really sharp, and some people said they get like a scope shot where the not a hit but kind of fly by and they kind of cut the skin. You're not gonna have any problem with this round.
Let's see here. Estimated time frame. Felix, we're right now. Right before we got on the show, he spoke to our engineer, and he's going to make the adjustment.
Right.
And then as soon as it's done, we're going to get it in. So we're hoping to have the adjustment until the end of this month. So hopefully by the early to mid next month, test and then push the button.
Right.
So,
like I said, we're I think we're more excited, more anxious than you guys to get this out. No, seriously.
When they came in today, I almost had to consult my doctor. We'll put it that way.
Well, this is one of the projects that we have to get done first. You guys, this is one of the projects. This is kind of will open for every subsequent project that we're working on. Without this projectile, meaning that we cannot shoot more, we can't grow games. Really, no point building a new gun without having a good projectile. So that's why we kind of focus all our effort right now to get these out.
Scott Faulkner, will you need first strike round springs or round ball spring? That's a good question. Because of their shape, I would think possibly you could use round ball springs, but we haven't tested it yet. We used shape projectile springs and they shot just fine, but there's nothing for it to catch in your magazine well. That's for any mag on the market. So I would assume even with the round ball springs, it would still fire.
It will, if feeds fine. The reason why you want to use a shape spring is to keep the stack together. So what happens is that if you don't keep the stack together nice and tight, and say you do have a bounce, like a jounce right here, the round can go pop like that, because the rounds always has a tendency to go down this way. And when you have all your rounds in a stack and you bump, that's a lot of weight. That's how it will bounce down and then it turns. You can go you can try yourself. You put an entire stack in and you use a regular paintball spray and just kind of tap down a little bit. The entire stack kind of fall down on its own weight. So that's the reason why I think you still need to use the shape round springs to keep the stack together. That's my conjecture, but I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, based on my tests in the past, you more than likely gonna have to keep the shape round spring to keep.
Will they be available in the UK? That's something we've got to talk to our UK distributor, Ian and them. I'd assume so. As long as their standard fits under, I don't know what the UK standard is, but
They're
the same.
Yeah, 3.5 grams. They're using,
that should be good.
The world, internationally, it used the state ASTM standard. As long as the standard is met, it will be fine.
Standard. We haven't tested on any other markers yet, but I wouldn't see an issue with it. As long as you have the shape projectile block in there, I don't see an issue.
So just to let you guys know, the geometry is pretty much the same. The length, it's about 0.684. The width, the OD, it's 0.683, and then the dry band is 0.690. So the only thing that kind of different in specification is the dry band. And like I said, that's the main purpose of it, is to seal the barrel up so that when you shoot it out, you get air kind of.
The rifling does its job.
Exactly.
And in the future, we've already talked about how we can experiment and test with different twist rates of barrels. We know that the Nemesis line came out with David Williams and them. It would be cool to do some testing with that as well to see how well, if there's a performance increase between that barrel and then, or from the hammerhead to that barrel. So like I said, guys, we're just, right now we're just trying to make sure that it feeds right and it shoots correctly. From there, we can do all the testing in the world. You guys can do all the testing in the world when you're able to purchase them, and you guys can give us feedback. But when we do it with our mags, and with our markers, there's not going to be a problem with anyone else's on the market. So we don't need to test with every single marker that's out there.
Joe, are you referring to Nemesis, the barrel?
FCW is probably for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah. KT, I have a DMR 468 and it started shooting like if I had low air and the tank was full. Any idea what's going on with it?
Are you getting low velocity, Jamie? If not, just message us directly. We'll handle that later on for you. I think we can address that fairly quickly.
Oh, there's some serious bromancing going on here. Joseph Rojas and Dirk Stam, you guys should do a private message. I'm just kidding. Which is the best for hammerhead barrels? Honestly, you have the same rifling between them all. I'm a personal fan of the one-shot barrel. I think, I've done all my testing with that here. It's that direct threaded barrel, but we have the 20 inches now, or the 20 inch and the 18 inch. That's autoclocker threaded and spider threaded, but it is going to come down to the different markers. So in the future, I don't know. Do you think we're going to be doing any one-shot barrels in the smaller sizes, in those threads?
Length ones?
Yeah.
Right now we're I think the last of a two show ago, people were asking about 6 inches one shot, and we are making a 6 inch one shot. If you guys wanted a shorter one, get the Widowmaker hammerhead barrel, and that's a 4.5 inches. Use a little fin to that, and you get a pretty solid system there. I think for this right here, it may work better with a fin, because you get a first initial inch where it's completely sealed, since it's smooth, completely sealed around the bore, and you get all the compression moving forward. So we have, like I said, we have not done enough tests to tell you what is and what is not, but I can tell you that we designed this for hammerhead barrel. So we will give you more details as we're able to do more testing with these. Like I said, we could not do a full test of it and cannot give you all the exact data because of the tail right now is bigger than the dome. It's right now the tail I measured earlier is 0.688 and the dome 0.68283. So you're talking about almost half a caliber difference, and that's huge. To me, that's huge. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the tail be the same size as a dome, and so when we put together a concentric right in the middle right now, when we put together sometimes a shift to left, shift to right, and what you get an oblong shot, and it doesn't exit the barrel as well as we want it to right now. Like I said, we'll do more tests to it. When we have a stable data and we're to make good video for you guys, we will show you.
Omar.
That's amazing.
What is going on, Omar?
I guess he saw the
He saw the shape projectile talk, and he's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Don't go asking Omar questions. Leave him alone. You can ask us, and if we don't have the answer, we'll get it from him. What's going on, Omar? Happy holidays to you and your family. I saw a question down here.
But Omar, just got to touch base. We do have the wax cell arrived, and I've been put together, been testing them. That's why I've been talking to you the other day. Get those things lined up, and so we can test them even more.
All right.
Yeah.
So what fin is best for FSR is 686. I don't know where people are saying the 683 is the size, because I've tried to put
too small
683 or tried to put first strikes in the 683 fin, and they do not move. They're stuck. So I don't know where people are getting the 683. I think early production they were 683, but they are definitely not.
683.
They're around 687 to 688. I've seen some here, and they're longer.
Right.
So that's another thing. Brewster, there's going to be high capacity mag. The Hydra is a 50 round with a 100 round adapter, which is additional 50, so it makes a 100 round drum. The Nautilus Drive one is discontinued. We will probably not bring that one back until after we get all of these projects out. We've been talking about making that smaller, but we're not on the drawing board yet for that one.
It's in progress, but it's not the main focus at the moment. Like I said, the main focus right now is shape rounds, get it out, shoot more of it so we can make more launchers.
Let's see here. All right, so auction, we'll go, what, 4 more minutes?
Auction, let's go into 5:50, so 8 more minutes for you guys. So this is gonna be auction Hurricane with this new handguard that's integrated to the top here. You can pop the bottom out pretty quickly. It has ample amount of space for you to put in pretty much any suppressor you want to put in there. Really light. I mean, this is, so it also key mod. You can put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 key mod spot for you to put it, your rails on. It's pretty looking too. So right now I think the top bid is 310, I believe. Yeah. So you guys wanna bid onto it? Go ahead and bid. You get about 8 minutes to do so. To do that, so that way you can win this awesome Hurricane marker. Jonathan is coming back, so no, you don't have to wait too long for him.
I've been
Tell Omar to come on. Omar will not come on until something momentous, until there's a momentous occasion, and you definitely gonna expect him to come on.
I'm like fighting a cold. My son is sick. My wife is sick. So I've been like drinking a lot of fluids, and I had to go to the bathroom. So sorry. Joseph Cunningham, what's going on, buddy? With the wax shell, will there be additional cleaning of equipment to look out for? I would not assume so.
I know, absolutely not. The surface that interact with the barrel is a dry band, not much onto the
shell itself.
The shell. And it's kind of nice too with the dry band. It's clean itself in a way. So when you shoot it, you can actually the dry band kind of clear the barrel for you. That's the beauty of shooting this round.
I totally forgot about that. I remember you told me that a long time ago about the dry bend actually cleans the barrel,
Right.
which is exactly true.
It clears the
So-
barrel for you too. Yeah.
Like I said, guys, what the three main points that we wanted to look out for is consistency round to round. Okay, we wanted to make sure that if you buy, whatever quantity you buy, that each round is going to be the same every single shot. So
Right.
that way you can dial in your output pressure of your tank, your valve system, and then of course you match up your barrel to the size of projectile that you're using. It's going to give you the most consistent shot every single time, which is going to allow you guys to be better players on the field and also allow for the round to be more, I guess you could say, acceptable into the market, as well as bring the new players in. I mean, that's what
Wax the
everyone
barrel.
wants. Yeah, wax your barrel.
In actuality, you wax the barrel actually good. Less friction.
Andre Rodriguez, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Let's see. Okay, fellow trees I offer maize and bison I hunted on the Magfog Fog Prairie. What's going on, man? Let's see here. Does anyone else have any questions on that? Where do we say we're going to end the
We
auction?
end in 5 minutes, so 5:45. So this is what you guys auction right now. I believe it's 310. Where's
Yeah.
our pin there?
I don't know. What away?
I believe 310 right now is the highest bid on this hurricane marker.
Yeah, but who was it? Who had the 310 bid? Are you guys still watching? Could you say that one more time, so that way we can put that up there? And like I said, guys, we'll update you on the packaging, so it'll make a lot more sense.
Right.
And like I said, all these questions you guys had, we were all worried about the same thing. But now that they're in, like, these things are like
They're solid.
They're solid. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing
first
for
we're-
being wax
Yeah.
and allowing that, allowing the like I said, the design itself. I'm very surprised, but I'm also very thankful that they're going to be solid like that. I mean, you can even take your fingernail and chip at it, but it doesn't
Right.
really do anything.
Kind of like
So-
your candle wax, but a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah
Carlos.
you're right. Huh? First we thought that it's gonna.
Yeah, I
break,
thought it was gonna be brittle, and that was the biggest thing. Making sure that it feeds in the
Right.
magazine, make sure it's consistent, and then of
Right.
course make sure that it meets the standard. And that was the top three things. If it can do that, then
Yeah, we're good.
you know we're good. Carlos who? Carlos. Oh, okay. Carlos Peraza. Can you put your? All right, never mind.
Yes, me.
Alright,
Good
good.
job.
So 5:47 right now. So you got 3 minutes to put in your last minute bids. They're $10 increments, and then Carlos, if you do end up winning, just message the page. I'll get you out the invoice for the marker.
This is one of the kind marker, guys. This is the custom built. This handguard right here doesn't exist yet. We still
Douglas Gloff. Put a wick in it, and you can have a tracer round. Boom. You
Hey,
got it, my friend.
yeah.
Winner. Well, it actually allows us to do. We can manipulate
You
the
can do a lot
formula
more.
to
You do a
do
lot more.
the UV actual into the formula and have it.
I have the UV magazine. Actually,
that's right, that's right.
So actually, you turn it on and it's actually light up and it charge the shell and it's gonna be cool. I mean, I said with this shell that we're doing, there's gonna be a lot of options you can do. Like I said, we can put paint in there, we can put water in there, we can put powder in there, you can put pretty much anything you want to put in there. At the
You
same
put Nutella in there for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys be catching them with your mouths out there.
right. And it's it's environmental friendly, and like I said, in the long term wise, these will be great. And with different color dry bands, say we do a field color, you can
Special
do
event
special
stuff.
event, different color, and it's more visible than having to shoot and see the paint inside what it is. So you have a dry band, different color, you can't really change that, right? Okay, what color you have? Okay, done. And it's more robust as far as you don't have to worry about people cheat and bring different version in there.
Ryan McGee, we will be at 0 hour. Don't worry about that. We got our calendar is packed. What I'm going to do tomorrow is
Packed to the toe.
actual. We're actually going to make a page on the website of our calendar, a master calendar of the events that we'll be heading out to this year. So you guys will be able to see that, and then if you guys need product or anything like that, we can take that with us. So MCS does not condone shooting these into your mouth. Hey, we don't. Wink. But with Intel in there, hey, might be a little bit better. Shoot them out of those JT Splatmasters.
Right. Well,
Win
you
80
shoot-
FPS.
You shoot through the grill, and then the teller just fly in your mouth.
There you go.
Hey,
There you go.
Instant feed.
We'll make a new mask for that.
All right, you guys, 1 minute left. Okay, 1 minute left for this. 549 right now. Top
1 minute
bidding
left.
is Eric. And like I said, you're bidding for this custom marker. It's really light. I'm looking at maybe about 3 pounds. This handguard, it's key mods, 7 sides, so you can actually customize any way you like them. Put a little rail on top, you get yourself pretty like a G36 kind of guy.
All right, that's it. 550. Carlos Peraza at 370. Congratulations, my friend.
Really nice win.
Go ahead and message us, and we'll get you out that invoice. Could the round be made something to make a sound as it flies, like those foam balls? Random idea. I mean, I don't know.
You can definitely. The cost going to go up right now. Where there are a couple of different versions. If you look into the patent on this, we actually have one that with the tail coming out. So as the round exit the barrel, there are 4 spring-loaded foils that popped out, and you actually go. It not just pop out horizontally, but vertically it's also come out this way as well. So there are 3 fins come out longer, and then it's also 4 little foil come out. So you look into the pants on that, you can check it out. See, it's pretty cool pan, and that's into the future. We need to get this one out first before we implement we call that the marksman version. This is the match for our games, and we'll have the marksman version, which is the one we anticipate them doing in the future. That may need a specialized rifle to shoot, but that's something that we have in mind, or Omar have in mind when we first come up with the ideas of making these rounds. Like I said, we have one of those tank mortar rounds out in our lobby, and then we look at the dry band, we study that, and that's how it's come up with.
That's pretty cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
We still do have some Stormtrooper markers available. I think we have like 2 or 3.
Well, 2 left.
2 left?
Two
Yeah.
left.
2 of those left. Those are really cool.
Yeah.
Those are like we've had a lot of traffic in the lobby for Christmas, and everyone's like, "Whoa, Star Wars gun!" Like, they knew it right off the
Right.
back, so that's pretty neat. The Star Wars gun is what, 2 something?
They're retailed the 379.
Oh, 379.
379. It comes with air tank and everything. Come with the lightning bolt handguard. Come with the 2x4, the 2 red dot scope, a 30 tank with the MTA buttstock. It's a really nice setup.
Yeah, Jamie Rivera won it on the raffle.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, you got it tomorrow. Nice.
Yeah, so 31 guns still going on. I don't know. I don't really have anything else.
That's it. I think we'll kind of sign up pretty soon. You guys have any question, throw at us right now before we sign off in the next couple minutes. It's been a great show. Finally, we're able to kind of talk more about the rounds and bring this into kind of light a little bit. We've been talking about this for last couple years. It has a different stop to it. Like I said, first we were trying to mass produce them, but the manufacturer, the company that was making them for us, they want us to commit 3 million rounds a month, and that was way too many rounds for us to handle. And so we have to come up with different ways to do it. We come up with changing the shell into wax. We can control, we lower down the production quantity because we're able to change the material into wax. Cost of the shell reduced, and now we're able to kind of maintain that price point. And now we're able to get that out. So we still have some adjustment that we need to make to it. And once we have the adjustment, we're gonna test them more and show you guys the data, and then before we kind of push the button and get them out. Omar said too long.
We have samples of the rounds at 0 hour, possibly. That's a big
0
possi-
hour. We
we
may
can
even
hopefully
have
release them by that time.
0 hours in May. If all the star line for us, we may have the rounds at 0 hour. Maybe the rounds to be used at 0 hour. Maybe everyone gets to shoot these rounds at 0 hour. So, well, that's all in the works, and hopefully we're able to get move things fairly quickly and get it done.
All right, Jamie, you said, do you guys have a couple mod for the Helix mags? What do you mean?
Tucker, that's a good case, right? That's a nice case. He won.
He won
Yeah,
the light,
that's a
light
good.
case.
You got a good deal there for that case, and that one that you bid for. That's well done.
Oh, a coupler? Yeah, we have couplers available. Search Helix magazine coupler on the website, and it'll come up.
Yeah, Helix double.
Oh, Helix double mag.
Yeah, double mag clamp, something like that. Or just Helix double, that will come up a lot easier.
Yeah, we have. You can do triple and quadruple.
Right.
If you're feeling extra.
That's all you need, actually.
You're feeling extra frisky.
Yeah,
do quadruple.
one stack. You have one stack, and you don't have to carry any other magazine on your body. Run a light, short machine gun, and you're good to go. That's 80 rounds. Yeah, you can see Dominion. We'll bring it out. Dominion, it's in March. We should have them for you guys to check them out. Dominion. We've been showing this at event, but the last year or so we kind of stopped showing them at event because we don't have a foreseeable date. Now we have the show. We kind of have anticipation of when this is going to get released. We don't have an exact date, but I think if we get the show right on the next run around, then we can actually get them out very quickly. Death Center rounds. We still kind of have an open, have not decided what to call the round yet. We kind of right now we just call shape projectile rounds at the moment. We have not really come up
Boring.
with Death Center rounds.
Yeah. No, not dead center rounds, but just shape projectile rounds.
Yeah, shape projectile. At one point we were talking about Counter Strike round, CSR. But that didn't really hold up, so we're still kind of waiting for something that have a good ring to it. Until then, it's gonna be shit.
To most of these guys, it's probably going to be the new Viagra. We should just call it the V round.
The V round. Oh boy.
No, we're not going to do a naming contest. We're going to get a lot of silly stuff.
Right.
But we're still deliberating over it. Omar, we should have a conference call this week, talk about it, get some good ideas. But other than that, that's all I got today.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for enjoying this full hour with us. Appreciate your time, and we'll catch you guys out there.
Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy.